bar, something's on the screen. You
And
turn
can we?
around.
I'll never know in slow motion. I'm never gonna find out. No one's
Staring. You just stare.
Literally we've done it for like 5 minutes. it's like, I think you would find it terrifying. We just literally look at each other and like
When
time.
I found a sociopath.
And like time stops.
Yeah.
But like that's just how it's been for us from the beginning.
No.
And like,
Well, I pictured her in like
Apple, take one. Amer.
very simple
Mark.
stuff, but then not the 4 hours that she was.
When Blake Lively appeared on the red carpet for the premiere of her film, Weird in Texas, which is available on Prime Video, Ryan Reynolds was noticeably absent. She wore a striking latex dress, and while she seemed to be putting on a brave face, it was clear that she missed her husband, who usually stands by her side. At the event, there were whispers about a possible feud between Anna Kendrick and the film's director. Paul, the director, went out of his way to praise Blake, calling her the best collaborator and an amazing actress, which felt a bit excessive. Honestly, I wasn't too concerned about any drama with Anna or whether the film would succeed. My main focus was on the fact that Ryan wasn't there. He's typically by her side at every red carpet event, and it felt odd not to see him. Ryan is like her protector in Hollywood, so when I saw her alone, I couldn't help but wonder where he was. I thought they did everything together, and this seemed like the perfect opportunity for them to present a united front, similar to that memorable moment at the SNL event when Ryan made a joke about a lawsuit. That skit really highlighted their dynamic. My instinct tells me that Ryan is going to leave his wife in a tough spot. This is just my opinion, but I've seen a lot of narcissists on this channel, particularly one named Cody Brown. When a narcissist feels cornered, they start pointing fingers at everyone but themselves. They will even throw their wives under the bus if it means saving their own skin. When Ryan made a joke about it, it felt like I was watching Cody Brown abandon one of his wives, making light of the situation to distance himself from the mess. As for Blake's career, I honestly have no idea what will happen next. I'm not particularly invested in this film. It's just a straight-to-streaming sequel with mixed reviews. However, Ryan seems desperate to salvage his career because his net worth is significantly higher than hers. If Blake's worth is around $30 million, Ryan's is estimated between $350 and $400 million. That figure might not reflect liquid assets, but it shows he has a much larger financial cushion. Blake is financially reliant on him if she wants to maintain her lavish lifestyle. While she has some money of her own, Ryan has been the one in control of their finances for the past 4 years, especially when she wasn't making films and was essentially living off him. So when I came across that article finally explaining why Ryan wasn't present, my first thought was, well, it's the Daily Mail and we know how they operate. The PR teams are really working overtime when it comes to Blake Lively. It's well known that their PR loves to leak stories to the Daily Mail and the New York Post. It's interesting because whenever I mention a story from those outlets, people often say the Daily Mail isn't reliable. While that's true to some extent, they do have text messages that show these celebrities are indeed communicating with reporters. So when I came across this story, I wondered if they leaked it and then tried to mitigate it with a quote from Ryan. Did his team release this information and then the publicists swoop in to clean it up? Or is there some truth to it, and they're attempting to spin the narrative to distract from the fact that Ryan might be letting Blake's career suffer while he stays silent? The Daily Mail reported a headline that caught my attention. Insider spills on the real reasons Ryan Reynolds ditched Blake Lively on the red carpet amid Anna Kendrick drama. It's worth noting that there isn't any real conflict between Anna and Blake. I just don't see these two ever being friends in real life. I think Anna is simply frustrated with all the attention surrounding the film and how it might be overshadowed by Blake's actions. There was someone notably absent from the scene. The article mentioned that just weeks ago, Ryan and Blake appeared together at the SNL 50th anniversary show, where Ryan made a questionable joke about the ongoing drama during an audience participation segment. When host Tina Fey asked how he was doing, he sarcastically replied, "Why, what have you heard?" The Insider reports that the blunder faced significant backlash in private, which explains his absence on Friday. Apparently, Ryan's inability to keep quiet and his need to be the center of attention, along with his tendency to mock his wife, led to him missing this event. According to their source, SNL served as a test to gauge fan reactions, marking their first public appearance since Blake filed for divorce, and the outcome was not promising for them. Both Ryan and Blake now understand that to protect their careers, they must avoid collaborating on projects, as everything will be under intense scrutiny. It's really about safeguarding their individual incomes. The source added that Blake is uncertain about her career's future due to the backlash she has faced. She doesn't want to end up in a situation where her family has no income, especially since Ryan's career has managed to withstand the fallout so far. The source also mentioned that a spokesperson for Reynolds, who remains unnamed, stated that the premiere of Another Simple Favor was a huge success, with both fans and critics enjoying the film. Blake attended with her cast and filmmakers and had a wonderful time. Several other actors also showed up at the premiere without their spouses or partners, which seemed to reflect on the other attendees. So while Ryan might want to divert attention elsewhere, the focus remains on him. His response to the situation felt more like a non-response, emphasizing the success of the event while subtly acknowledging that others attended without their partners. It was indeed their first outing together. Since Blake filed, things haven't looked good for them. Ryan and Blake both now understand that for their careers to survive, they can't be involved in the same projects. Everything will be under heavy scrutiny. If you've done nothing wrong, if you haven't participated in anything shady or behaved in an objectionable manner, one would think it wouldn't matter if you worked together. After all, if the truth is on your side, as they keep saying, then it should prevail. If the truth is indeed coming and you've done nothing wrong, there shouldn't be a reason for them to stop collaborating, right? That's my take on it. Feels like no matter what they do, it will look bad either way. Here's why. If they don't work together, it will seem like they have something to hide. People might think that when they collaborate, they undermine the directors, disrupt production, cause delays, inflate budgets, and create a difficult environment. They might even try to manipulate others to turn against you or steal your film. On the other hand, if they choose to stay apart, it could look like one is letting the other take the blame for their actions. Neither scenario is favorable, trust me. The way this is being framed suggests that Blake is willing to let her career fail so that Ryan can continue to succeed and make money. If Ryan steps back and allows his wife to take the hit, it reflects poorly on him, as he is part of the problem and has contributed to this situation. This situation highlights a sense of narcissism, as it seems to be presented as Blake's decision to let Ryan avoid supporting her publicly. If he stays silent, his career can thrive, which is portrayed as beneficial for their family financially. The underlying message is that Ryan is the provider, and Blake's career can be sacrificed for his success. This dynamic echoes a patriarchal mindset, suggesting that it's acceptable for Blake's career to suffer because she isn't the primary breadwinner. Ryan can distance himself from her, skip her events, and still prosper, while Blake's career is deemed less important. Meanwhile, those of us who critique this situation are labeled as misogynists for simply pointing out the reality of what's happening. A lot of this situation seems to stem from the idea that she's not being truthful. It's not about misogyny when we say we don't believe her. It's simply stating that we think she's lying, just like we believe Ryan is. The argument that Blake is allowing her career to be undermined for Ryan's benefit does carry a misogynistic undertone. It suggests that Ryan, at his core, is engaging in self-sabotage and sabotaging his wife's career. If what they're claiming is accurate, it seems Ryan doesn't want Blake to outshine him. He appears to prefer a traditional role for her, staying home, raising kids, and taking care of the household while he focuses on his career. If he can create a scenario where her career collapses, he can maintain his own success and play the hero. If Blake truly identified as a feminist, she would take charge of her own destiny instead of depending on him. Moreover, if the backlash she faced was as orchestrated as she claims, it shouldn't have impacted her career at all. Interestingly, despite that backlash, the movie she starred in was quite successful, which makes it puzzling why they didn't just stay quiet and let the audience discuss the film. Instead of feeding into the drama, they could have taken the high road, promoted the film together, and set aside their egos. Yet throughout this entire ordeal, it seems Ryan has pushed her to confront the situation rather than step back. After doing things that will ultimately backfire and reveal her as a liar, it seems he doesn't want her to work. That's just my take on it. The way this is being presented suggests that he won't support his wife publicly because he prioritizes his career. That's one of the most selfish and narcissistic actions a man can take. If you're in a relationship, whether you're a husband or a wife, think about how you'd feel if your partner just walked away when you needed support. My husband is incredibly protective. He embodies a kind of feminism similar to Justin Baldoni, but he also has a strong protective instinct. He would stand up for me and never downplay a serious situation. He would confront anyone if necessary, taking on the negativity himself rather than letting it fall on me. That's what a good partner does. All Ryan had to do at that event was avoid being rude and make a light-hearted joke. He could have easily chosen not to joke about the sexual harassment lawsuit, ignored the questions and maintained a composed facade. But part of me thinks he couldn't resist the urge to make a joke about it. He likely wanted to downplay the situation and put on a show. He's not intimidated or scared, and he feels he has the upper hand because if you can joke about something, it means it doesn't affect you. What Ryan is doing aligns with what he has consistently stated in interviews. He has told late-night hosts that if his child were in a burning building or in danger, he would throw his wife in front of the child to protect them. He has openly said he would use his wife as a shield to save his own life. That's not what a true partnership is about. It makes her a sacrificial lamb. Miss Lively seems to be under the impression that this is acceptable, believing that as long as she has a patriarch who can pay the bills, everything is fine. However, I believe this marriage won't last. If her career falters, she will find herself at home with him constantly, and he will likely become unbearable to be around. She, in turn, will also be difficult to deal with as she grapples with losing everything. This situation will erode the confidence they have in each other. Both of them are narcissistic and struggle with criticism. They can't handle being criticized. Ultimately, their marriage will collapse because they cannot thrive in an environment where they aren't both receiving the validation that comes from their fame. Think of all of us as their source of narcissistic supply. Each of us contributes to their survival. Once that supply is cut off, they will start turning on each other. They should be able to go public without fearing backlash, but it seems that's not the case. If you have nothing to hide, then there's no reason to conceal anything. If you're confident in your case, just stay quiet, avoid discussing it publicly and continue with your life. However, the way they're behaving suggests to me that they might not be innocent. They seem more concerned about their image than about proving their innocence. And why would this situation ruin her career if she's telling the truth? If she goes through a full trial and all sides show that everything she said is accurate, then her career wouldn't be over. So, if you're thinking in such extreme terms, it makes me wonder if you might have done something wrong. Careers typically don't end because someone did nothing wrong. They usually end because of actions that shouldn't have been taken. But what do I know? I suspect this marriage has a 5-year lifespan from where they are now. Honestly, I would give it a maximum of 2 more years. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, everyone.